Yo guys, how are we doing? Now today, as I've said already, I'm going to be looking at kind of authentic formations and tactics that were used by kind of ex-Chelsea managers. Now we've already looked at Thomas Tuchel's 3-4-2-1 on my take on that formation, which has been working wonders for me in terms of rivals. I've been climbing like crazy. There'll be a video coming after this one that'll kind of like go into some of the highlights that I've got and stuff, and I'll be doing some post commentaries, so it's all going to be cool. So this one's actually going to be looking at Jose Mourinho and his infamous 4-3-3 variation 2. So that's kind of where you have two centre midfielders and like a CDM then that kind of stays back. So I've taken some time to kind of work on this formation, kind of trying to go from memory, because it was about then is when I started to get into Chelsea. It was around that era, around 2005. So a lot of it's come from memory and actually asking friends of mine who remember watching it back in the day as well, kind of just going through it with them and kind of just talking through kind of the players and the formations or the tactics that that player would have, or what would their role be within the squad, you know, would they push up in this instance and stuff. So what I've tried to do is try to recreate that as best as I can. I'm going to try and post some, I guess, highlight reels of me using this formation at a later date, but this is kind of just going to deep dive, I guess, into my take on the 4-3-3 variation 2 tactics. If you are enjoying these tactic videos from ex-Chelsea managers, then please do drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm going to be doing this the whole year. It's just going to be Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea for the whole year. Even if you aren't a fan, I'd really appreciate the support. I've never done something like this before, so this is kind of a first for me. But anyway, enough of me rambling on. Let's jump straight into these tactics. So let's jump into these custom tactics. What have we got? We have 4-3-3. Now this looks scary on the front, but there's some logic to it. So actually, let's have a look at the formation. Ignoring how players set up, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit separately about them, but Mourinho ironically actually picked this formation because a lot of managers at the time were playing just a bog standard 4-4-2, and Mourinho kind of worked out that if you play like the three centre midfielders, you're always in a 3v2 in the midfield, which means you can always dominate the midfield. And Mourinho was a big fan of kind of playing a very deep defence line. You know, when he had the likes of like John Terry, just play that really deep defence, and then just would do a hoof long ball for like a massive counter attack to somebody like Robben or Joe Cole on the wings to kind of lay off for Lampard, Ballack, Drogba, just to kind of finish and score goals. And for Mourinho, it worked. He won so many titles with it. In my eyes, he's a genius, and I don't think he gets enough credit these days. So let's kind of jump a little bit into these tactics. So in that sense, drop back is the only defensive style that makes sense. I know drop back, weekend league, whatever. If you want to play kind of how Mourinho played, you're going to have to suck it up and play a drop back formation. That's just how it's going to be, I'm sorry. The width, we've kept it relatively towards the middle of the park. Don't need to go too wide with it. When you've got a big core in the middle of the park, you know, if they can get around you, you have enough players there to deal with it. And again, we didn't want to play it too deep because we don't want to let them have too many long shots. We want to just enough so that we can stop those long shots but still be a nuisance and not allow too many of those through balls. Build to play, like I said already, it's a very, counter heavy formation. If you kind of look at the likes of Wolves, when they were playing a very counter-attacking, you know, they would just hoof the ball to Adama and then boom, Adama Traore was gone. We need to play a long ball. We need those pacey wingers, and we need to just hoof that long ball through to them, get them running onto that ball, and then get it straight up to the god Drogba to finish and bang in those goals. Chance creation, balance just made sense. It was a bit of everything that we needed when I was kind of looking through them, and it made the most sense. I'm still playing around with it, but again, like I said, it was the only thing that really makes sense. When we attack, we want to be quite wide. We want to kind of be to the wings, you know, kind of like out to the lines in terms of the wingers to kind of run in. And then that's when the likes of like Ballack and Lampard in the centre midfield would kind of push up. But I'll kind of go into their kind of tactics later on. Players in the box, relatively small, because in the sense of we had Drogba, and usually players like Lampard would sit on the edge, Ballack would be your box-to-box, and then the other winger, in this case Robben or Joe Cole, depending on which side you're attacking from, they would be on the back end to pick it up if anything went wrong. Corners, we're playing it quite heavy. You know, you had John Terry back then. Again, I've said his name already. Didier Drogba, you know, you had Makalele, Essien. These are all like key players that are really good in the box. Just want to jump up and get the head on it. Free kicks, didn't want to chuck too many on this. Like I said, we're more of a counter formation rather than constant pressure. So we didn't want to be counted on ourselves, because that wouldn't look great, would it? So in terms of formation, I've kind of done the best I can with the players that I've got currently, but I'm kind of going to have to explain a bit how their roles and how they work. So when I go to individual instructions, Didier Drogba, or in this case now for me, Lukaku, stay central, target man, and stay forward. Don't come back, stay up there, be that target man. A bit like how Thomas Tuchel has Lukaku to play now. Be that target man, receive the ball to feet, pass it off to your wingers, look in, or run into the box then for that header. That's his goal. That's all he's got to do. Score goals, big man, big passes. Beautiful. On the wings, all it's going to be is just basic, balanced. Come back a little bit, but don't, I don't want you back with the right backs and the left backs. I want you to be just enough so that you can receive the ball or run, and then we won't get in behind. That's the key one. Supporting runs, we won't get in behind. That's the whole purpose, right? We're playing long ball, get in behind. Those wingers are going to run, boom, off they go. And we've got to stay on the edge of the box as well. Players like Robben loved cutting inside, finesse on his left foot, for example. He did it a lot at Bayern. He's done it at Chelsea too. That was his dream. And Joe Cole was amazing at whipping balls in. So staying on the edge of the box on both these two wingers makes the most sense to me, thinking back to previous games and such. Now we've got the interesting players. So we've got the centre midfielder. So we've got Kovacic. So here, Lampard, this is where his role would be. He would be the kind of... Actually, you're wrong. Here we go. This is actually really, really important. This is where your attacking-minded centre midfielder is going to be. So for me, for Chelsea, this would be Lampard. His role, get up, stay on the edge of the box, and be ready to just go for those beautiful long shots that have just so many compilations of Lampard doing these amazing dream shots. Same as what Steven Gerrard used to do for Liverpool. It's the same idea. Get on the edge of the box, long shots, bang them in. That's your job. So for me, I've got Kante here. Would have been Ballack in the day. Box to box, run up, come back, run up, come back. That's his job. Kind of feels fitting for Kante because he can just run for days. But yeah, this is Ballack's role. Box to box midfielder here, and then your more attack-minded midfielder here. And if you picture as well, so their positions are always on cover centre. Now that's actually really key. We don't want them drifting wide. We need that. If you picture where they are now, like train tracks, like just running up and down like this. Just picture them running up and down between Havertz and Mount. Just Lukaku and Kovacic just going up and down like a train track, or like a yo-yo, just up, down, up, down. That's all they've got to do. Just come up, attack, come back, defend. That's all they do. They don't go wide. They just go up, down, up, down. And then Thiago Silva here. So this would have been Essien or Makalele. Actually, Essien could have been a box-to-box too. But this is just your cover centre, stay back and attack in. Bog standard CDM stuff. And in terms of your left back and right back, they're just unbalanced. And these are all unbalanced too. So that's kind of my take on Mourinho's 4-3-3 variation 2. Again, if you have your own opinions, or if you have any questions about this, please feel free to just drop those comments down below, or just DM me, find me away. I'm on Twitter. Just DM me or get in touch. If you think what I've done is a bit wrong and you would like to query or talk to me through it, then please do. I'd love to hear your take, because again, these are just my take on this RTG of what I think the tactics should be. If there's ways for me to improve these tactics, like I said, again, please get in touch. I'd really, really, really appreciate that. I don't really have much else to say, really. I might cut to something else now. Okay, I did cut to something else. Okay, the team looks a bit different from what we last saw it. I did actually buy Frank Lampard. I think that might have been in the previous video. And I think I bought him for about 265 or 270, I think it was. And so maybe editing me can find a way to snippet that in somehow. I noticed his price went up over the weekend, so I kind of flipped him for a profit. I made about 10, 15k. I mean, just small icon trading to make some more coins, make some buffer. And I noticed today, literally today, I bought a pack fresh Joe Cole for 275, which seemed like a good price. I've been watching this price for a little while now. I have seen it go cheaper, but kind of the panic in me got the best. Oh, should I say the panic got the better of me. I've been watching Lampard's price recently, and he's still kind of keeping it quite high at the minute. I think around the 310 mark. So I might have to wait a little bit for it to drop back down. But yeah, a pack fresh Joe Cole. I'm super, super chuffed about that. Again, you know, if we look at his icon profile, he played at Chelsea for 8 years. And he was very iconic for us. So I'm super, super happy to get him in the team. I did play a little bit with him in FIFA 20, I think it was. Thoroughly enjoyed him. Thoroughly enjoyed him. And he's a big improvement over Chilwell. So that's how the team is currently looking like. Again, my next plan will probably be to replace Kovacic. That being said, in some of my highlights that I've done for Rivals, Kovacic is actually really good. I've been thoroughly impressed with him. Like, his agility for me works wonders in terms of just being able to quick turn on the box and then through ball it to Chilwell on the left or Reece James on the right or find Havertz and Mount and things. It's just, he's been actually working a dream. So to be honest, I'm kind of reluctant to upgrade him for now. Maybe there's another improvement I can do, but yeah, Kovacic, he's putting in the work, in fairness. Again, we've got a very impressive Chelsea-looking bench. These are all either current or past Chelsea players. So yeah, super happy with that. Super happy, and I hope you guys will eventually enjoy the Rivals highlights that I'll be having coming up in the next video to kind of just to show off how amazing this formation is, the 3-4-2-1, should I say, and how amazing it's been going for me in Rivals and how much I've actually been enjoying it. I've finally bought a solid long enough Ethernet cable, so I've actually got good connection. I was always reluctant to play on the Wi-Fi because I'd always get like lag spikes or I'd disconnect from Xbox Live, which is really annoying. But yeah, no, I've got the Ethernet cable now. It's all set up, so I'm super happy. And I'm hopefully now going to try and do some streaming on Twitch. So I'm going to be streaming over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Sion, the same as the YouTube page. And I'll hopefully be streaming some of the stuff that I'm doing on this account, so you guys can keep up to date with that as well. Just to kind of, stay in the loop with what I'm doing. Another thing I should note as well, since it already has been Sunday, I've already had my Squad Battles rewards. We managed to get Elite 3, which is sick. Very happy with that. I kind of like just putting some music on, just chilling, playing some Squad Battles. Don't really have to worry or stress too much about it. So we got Elite 3, and we actually got some decent pulls. I'll put some screenshots now. I did send some to the friends, but I keep forgetting that I keep clearing my transfer list, and then I just lose everything. It's really annoying. But I'll put some screenshots up now of some of the players that we packed, which got us some more of the coins, which is why currently we are sat at around 290,000 coins, which is awesome. Still not quite enough for some of those better key players, but it's still enough to have just in case something interesting happens. Like, I believe Rudiger potentially is coming up for Player of the Month, which would be really cool. Werner had a really good game against Southampton on the weekend, so I'm really praying that he gets a Team of the Week. That would be super awesome, and I'm super happy for him as well. I think there's like a really disturbing fact that I found out the other day that he's already had 16 goals disallowed for Chelsea, which I think is just really cursed, if you ask me. So that's kind of all I've got for this video for today. Like I said already, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sure you're sick of every YouTuber telling you to do that at this point. But yeah, for now, guys, I'm gonna peace.